G'day guys, welcome to another episode, and we are here at Paronella Park. Paronella Park is $55 entry. That gets you entry to the park for 2 years. Plus you get guided tours, the evening experience, and a night in the caravan park. Pretty good value really. So we're staying at the caravan park called the Paddock. It's a short, maybe 300-400 metre walk.
Yeah, 400 metre walk.
From Paronella Park. So your $55 entry, like I just said, gets you one night there, which is pretty cool. Yeah,
so $55 entry to here, gets you one night free over there, and subsequent nights after that, at the moment, $39 a night.
But the amenities, it's like it's not like a brand new, it is a brand new park. Just behind the pub.
Massive camp kitchen, laundry.
Sites are pretty huge.
Yeah.
The sites are really good.
They're a good size.
So you don't have to worry about too much about reversing. So no. Another top spot to do with Paronella Park.
We're out the front of what they call the museum, which is actually the family cottage back in the day, where Jose and Marguerite lived with their 2 children, Jose or Junior or Joe and Therese. And it's now the museum.
It's pretty cool in there.
It's fascinating.
A lot of good photos. Photos of the flood, like, you know, you'll see down here at the steps how far it comes in. You just can't appreciate. Coming from Gympie and got flooded last year, you just really got to appreciate where the water comes in.
Yeah, the force of water.
It's devastating actually. So here we are, we're entering the ballroom. There's the stage. The big famous mirror ball that cost him more than what the actual whole place did in the day. And up the top there, you'll see there's a real big rectangle. That's where he used to do movies. You could buy ice cream down there in the bottom. But, Ros, why does it look the way it does today?
Okay, back in the 1970s there was actually a fire here, and it blew out the roof of the actual building here, and then in cyclones that came through in the following years, it just destroyed what was pretty much left of it. On top of that, it's got what they call concrete cancer. So when Joe was building it here, unbeknownst to him, the river sand that he was using allowed more air into the actual concrete. So hence moisture got in and the cancer was formed.
Yeah, so concrete cancer is when the reinforcing steel expands. And then you get a thing like this. I'll just walk over here. Here we go. And this is what concrete cancer is. Not very pleasant, particularly if you've got a high-rise down on the Gold Coast. And let me tell you, there are a few. But another interesting fact, the flooring
was black beam in the day, and apparently it was very palatial. So there was blue velvet and red velvet drapes, and yeah, they used. So this place is full of fun facts, and this is one of them. The wishing well. So what you had to do, I'm just going to turn this around. What you had to do was stand here with your back to you, get a coin, flick it in. If it landed down in the bottom, that was bad luck. How you had to have good luck was do it again and hope it landed in the top. Not a bad money making scheme if you ask me. A lot of people down there with some bad luck. So what we got here, we actually have the grand staircase. The grand staircase was the first piece of infrastructure built on the property, and the idea of it was so he can move, Jose could move all the, like, sand up for his concrete plant. Oh, I guess you call it a concrete plant.
concrete mixing station. Make it easier for him to walk up.
47 steps of pure leg burning.
47 steps of leg burning. Imagine that carrying the sand. I'm not lucky to get my fat butt up here. Fun fact number 100, because this place is full of fun facts, like I said. Where Roz is standing up there on the grand staircase, that's where the flood came in at 1946. Unbelievable. And the ones down below it are 67 and 94. And 96 and 2018. But that 1946, you really got to come here to have a look and appreciate how high that water got. And it wiped out a few structures never to be open again since 1946. Think about it.
So another interesting fact about this place, the waterfall that comes off Minn Creek. Back in the day there was volcanic activity and the lava actually flowed downstream here and formed what you see today in the waterfall. The thing about it was that behind it was a whole heap of river sand. So over time the river sand was washed away with the water, and that allowed Jose, for a small fee, to hire out little timber boats for the romantics that were out there. So the couples could jump in the boat and actually go behind the waterfall. Would have been spectacular in the day.
So here we are, we're at the suspension bridge. And this is more for Roz's mum. I'm gonna sit down see.
I assure you it's safe, Mum.
It's pretty sturdy. It was actually a gift by the government in 1988 to the park to give access across these magnificent waterfalls. So.
Yeah. Chairs, or the picnic sets that you can see here, Jose actually made them, like everything, by hand. And the way he designed it was that so no matter what setting you were sitting at, you had a clear view of the pool. So very forward-thinking man.
And they would call it the pool because everyone went fishing, swimming there, fishing. I got fish on the brain because I can see them. But there was even a diving board.
Yeah, there was. And yeah.
The remnants of
the remnants of what's left there.
But,
yeah.
So in the flood, 1946, this building here, which was the refreshment centre, was never to be reopened. All the hard work they did washed away. Pretty sad, really. And in here, we have the change rooms. This side's the males. Why were there change rooms, Roz?
Back during World War II, a lot of US personnel were stationed or based around here, and they used to come here for their day trips and a bit of R&R, and they would come, and of course in those days you could swim down where all the fish are, and Jose made the rule that unless you had your bathing suit that you couldn't go swimming. So of course for a fee he hired out bathing suits so you could come here, get changed and go and enjoy the pool.
So not only we got the change rooms there, we've got the kitchen. So they're down here working their butts off, cooking up a storm for everyone. Didn't reopen, but I think they might have had a mould issue in this kitchen by today's standards. Moving on, over here we've got this fountain. This wasn't completed by Jose, but his son did it. And it was on Jose's list, but this fountain here, no pumps are involved. So while that waterfall is flowing, this will keep doing what it's doing. Gravity fed. And there's a fellow by the name of Jeffrey who's a concreter. People are calling him an absolute genius. His wife begs to differ, who works up at the counter, we might add. This has actually been preserved. If you can show me where he's preserved it, you're doing better than us. What an amazing job, Jeffrey. So as we leave the night area, I'm going to call it that, it actually was the tennis courts. There's a place called Cowrie Lane, and the government gave him the seedlings 90 odd years ago, 1930s, for him to grow it, and look what he actually did to it. Made a lovely, I guess you call it a laneway. But the Cowrie tree has a little bit of significance to the Australian Army. Not only were they growing for ship masts, because they just grow dead straight and super strong, but if someone can tell me, one of our subscribers can tell me the first correct answer on what significance these trees had to the Australian Army, I'm going to send you a free pair of Beano's polarised sunglasses. Have a real good look at it. What an amazing tree. It's just amazing, this place. Like, there's so many twists and turns, and when the current owners actually bought this place, it was fully overgrown. Didn't even know what they had. Imagine that, being one of their kids, finding all these great cubby houses in the middle of nowhere. But what we have here, they call it the Tunnel of Love. Another fun fact about the Tunnel of Love, it's full of bats, micro bats, so you got to really hold your nose. She's pretty putrid today. But he actually dug a tunnel right through to the other side by hand to get the clay, so he could use it as a render for all of his concrete and brickwork. But then he had an idea. That's where he put aquariums into the wall. I mean, who would have thought of that in the 1930s? But again, there's a ticket booth, so if you wanted to go in there and have a look, cha-ching! But that failed because too damp, too wet, too mouldy, too smelly, and nothing would survive in there. So nowadays it is closed, you can't go through. Years ago you could have, but I'm sorry, I don't think I'd like to.
No, she's a bit putrid today.
Bit putrid.
Yeah.
On the way down to the Tunnel of Love, what's this walkway?
It's called Lover's Lane, and Jose made it wide enough so a couple could hold hands while they walked down Lover's Lane.
Oh, romantic.
Shimmy Jimmy.
Do you reckon Jimmy would do this? Oh, you know, shimmy Jimmy.
Shimmy Jimmy.
Really is an amazing place. Then turn around and there's your Tunnel of Love.
It's the one structure that you can actually climb up onto. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, each one of these balustrades, are all, like, everything's made by hand, but there's over 8,000 of these throughout the park. You just can't fathom all this done by hand. Unbelievable.
So we were just talking about Jeffrey the genius, regardless of what his wife says, and look who we have found. Jeffrey himself.
Mate, you're doing an amazing job.
Amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Restoring it. Big job.
Embarrassed now.
We've got a lovely little story on this one. I don't know whether you could hear us, but I might have to do a voiceover. This is oh, pardon me.
Teresa Falls. So this is on the other side of the Tunnel of Love, and Jose wanted to give his daughter something. So for her 8th birthday, he recreated, by hand of course, this waterfall here, which is a replica of the big one around the front there, and presented it to his daughter on her 8th birthday.
Great, man. Anyway, what a legend was.
Yeah, so special.
So anyway guys, that's a wrap from us at Paronella Park. Haven't even told you where it is. It's actually about, what, 15-minute drive south of Innisfail?
Innisfail, yep.
The old highway. Is it worth coming?
Absolutely.
How long have you been waiting to get here?
It's been on my hit list for a couple of years, so I'm so pleased we finally got here, and we've had a couple of days to really enjoy what's here.
Yeah, so definitely worth it. Get up here, have a look at this place. There is more information here than what we've given you, and let me tell you, this place was the first place to have electricity, and I'm going to leave it at that. Anyway, Dan and Roz on our Aussie adventure. Like, subscribe if you like, that'd be great. See you next time.